Wonderful. Welcome to another wonderful episode of the Perspective Podcast.
Thanks for
Today,
having me.
yeah, absolutely. Today we have Raquel on the show. I'm so excited for you to be here. I know that this is something that's maybe not something you're used to or accustomed to, kind of outside of your comfort zone. So, again, kudos. Thank you for coming on and being willing to be a part of the show. It really means a lot.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
In today's episode, we talk about the struggles that nurses face, relationships and the important relationships, and just general positivity. For a first time or seasoned watcher, the podcast is about hardship, it's about adversity. So basically interview our guests to get some insight on, ways that you can navigate. There's so many different walks of life and each guest comes with their own story. Sometimes they may pertain to you, you know what I mean? Even if they don't, I always feel like there is something, there's a camera right there. There's always something to learn from everybody, every walk of life, honestly. So today we're going to learn about some value that Rachel has to give. You know what I mean? She's a nurse, right?
Yes.
So I'm sure that she's definitely seen some perspective. You know what I mean? Definitely seen some, hardships. Definitely witnessed, walked through it, helped people with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I can't even imagine. Like at one point, I had a dream to be like a doctor, right? Because I was in the hospital in and out as a kid, not like from like anything illness, but I got hit by car accidents, and I was just in the hospital, and I saw them help me, and I was like, you know what? I want to do this. I want to do this. As I grew older, I kind of strayed away from that type of path. And I'm actually kind of grateful, but we'll get into that later on. You know what I mean? But talk to me about what made you want to be a nurse, what type of things you come across, and then some values, some hardships, some things. If you want to go and talk about like what made you, like I don't know if any of those things that any circumstances led up to you like feeling like nursing is a calling.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, nurses are special. I think it takes a special person to like go through nursing school and like, because they say nurses eat their young. So
They
that
eat
means,
their young?
yeah, that's what they say in
What?
nursing school.
I've never heard of that before.
Well, I went to New York schools, and anyways, even the older nurses, they would say, yeah, nurses eat their young, meaning like they're really hard on the other nurses and like the newer nurses coming on. So we were told a lot like, you're not gonna finish this program. You're not meant to be a nurse. You're never gonna be a good nurse.
These are your teachers. Mm-hmm. Wow.
And but the ones,
It's like the
so a
military.
lot of people would like drop out, and the ones that stayed and did it and everything. I mean, we earned it, and so what made me want to be a nurse? Gosh, I think it was just like the stability, and I was like, I know that I have empathy, but I also can turn it off. Like I can look at somebody and be like, cry with them and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry for your loss, and then I can like close it up and like go home and just move on. You know what I mean? Like there has to be that boundary. And when you learn that in nursing school, you're going to be a great nurse. So yeah. Oof. Right?
So like part of the job is not giving a fuck.
No. Yeah. It's like the ability to like separate,
Okay.
like you can't take everything with you. Obviously you're going to take some things with you, but even like police officers, like there's vicarious trauma, like you're seeing a lot of things, but like you kind of have to separate or else like you can't.
Right.
Like EMT workers and stuff like that, they're really traumatized on a regular basis.
So I have a question. Mm-hmm. Right. Do you think that like over time, like these eating their young nurses, like these more seasoned nurses, do you think that they become numb to the point where they stop caring about patients in general?
Ooh, I'd hope not. I think that there is a lot of burnout in nursing, right? And that's a real thing. And like you have to care for yourself in order to care for others, or else you won't be able to survive. Like there's no way. But do I think that they stop caring? No, I don't. I think that you wouldn't be able to do the work if you didn't care. You have to be a caring person, like to take care of people, and like when they're sick and there's a lot of sick people. So that's what's really great about when I decided to make the change into aesthetics. I was director of nursing before I got into aesthetics. Before then I was like working for the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. So I worked with a lot of people with like major depression and schizophrenia and all that. I was always a nurse manager. I actually worked right down the road at a MRO. It was like for deaf individuals, and it was called like Medicaid Rehab Option. And anyway, so I was a clinical supervisor there. Years and years of nursing, and I was a nurse, I think 12 years at the time, when I was like, I'm like amazing. Like nurses just aren't as impactful as I was, I ran an assisted living facility, and we had like tons and tons of, I had all this staff who relied on me, and like hundreds of families and residents, and it was during COVID-19 and all that. And so when you see what you're able to accomplish, and like how how successful you can be, and like really that you're getting like positive outcomes, and like people are happy, people showing up at work, like you start to kind of appreciate who you are, right? Like I'm like seeing the fruits of my hard work. And so there came a time where I was like, they just don't pay me enough. Like I'm awesome. Like I was like, assisted living is really, really tough. So that was kind of like what guided me to like look and find like, what do I really enjoy? What do I really like? Mm-hmm. And that's when I started, I was really focused on like self-care. And I feel like, I broke up with my ex, and like I changed my whole life, and I did a lot of things to kind of like, do some self-discovery stuff. And that's when I really kind of focused in on like the beautiful part of nursing, which was like Botox and fillers and all that stuff. And I fell in love with it because, when I'm doing Botox and fillers and stuff like that on people, I'm like listening to them and I'm talking to them. I know all about their intimate lives, like their boyfriends, their all of the, I was actually spending time with my patients, which I never really was able to before as a nurse. So that's why I'm just like so grateful that I turned the corner.
Mm. So what made you want to turn the corner? Was it just like, is it too much stress from like seeing people like come and go?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people dying and people.
Right. Yeah. No, it was like, no, it was just like validating myself, being like, I can continue to like work for everyone else and just like make their dreams come true, or I can like do it for myself. Mm-hmm. And so it was like, what do I want to do? So it was like a really, it was a pivotal, point in my life. Like it was like a midlife crisis. I really feel like it was.
Really?
Yeah. Like where I like totally left my ex, and like I sold our house, and I took my daughter out of that school system and just completely like changed everything. It was, and then I needed to go to therapy after that because I was like, I'm a mess. And this was all like discovering like what I really wanted to do with myself. You can, like I said, I mean, you know how many people like go into work and they're like checked out. They're already checked out. They're like just going in to get a paycheck. Like I didn't want to live like that anymore. Like I was really good at what I did, and I was very productive, and like I had all the systems in place. I'd worked so hard to create all of that. And then I'm like, I don't want to have to do that anymore. I want to like create, I want to like make an impact in my way, like my own way. So yeah.
What led you into nursing in the first place? Like when you were growing up as a child, like did you feel like you had like some direction or calling that you wanted to get into, and then was it always nursing? Did something shape you to get into nursing? Like what?
I'm a really practical person. My mom was like, hey, if you go to nursing school, like this hospital will pay for you to go to school and whatever. And like, I wound up writing my high school essay on like why I want to be a nurse. And it was like the most amazing essay I've ever written in my life. And it's so weird because the only thing I remember about it, I mean, like it's stupid. Like I can't even articulate, but it was very powerful. And it was just like, how when your parent says like to take this pill, and like it's just so hard for the kid to like to swallow it, and like they feel like they're being tortured, or like something bad happens and like the parent's trying to help you, but like you don't realize that they're trying to help you. It's like the medicine that you have to take, but you don't want to take it. You're afraid, and that was kind of like the concept of why I wanted to be a nurse, was to help people who didn't know that they needed to be helped, really. Yeah.
I like that. And now the direction that you take is more so like people who want to be helped.
Yeah. So it's actually, I serve like the healthy people now. So I used to always work with sick people and aging people. And I still now, we're all aging. But now people come to me and they want the service, and it's not because they're sick. And then they thank me. So it's like very rewarding. It's like they come to me and then they leave. Everyone's always happy, as opposed to in the past, it was more thankless. It was like, thank you, but it was like, that's your job. Like, it's just not the same.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So the people who are in life-threatening situations, tend to be less grateful.
Yeah, they're like, this is what I want it. And as with anything, like when you're paid to do something, like that's your skill set. That's what you're there to do. You know, like everyone's got a job to do. So it's not discounted. I mean, I never felt like used or anything. It was just a matter of,
Yeah.
yeah.
See, that's exactly I remember being in the hospital when I was young. I had like a car crash and I was there for like 5 days and I was just a little douchebag. You know what I mean? I was 10 years old and I was in so much pain and I was just like yelling at the nurses. Like I had like an evil side just like come out. Like I was just like, cause I don't even know. I just remember them moving me in my bed, like moving stuff around. I'm like, no, like it's excruciating pain.
Yes.
And I'm just like, do your job right. Saying shit like
Oh,
that, like
yeah.
terrible shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
you were scared. You were freaking scared,
it
man.
was such a weird experience. It was so
You
fucking
were
weird.
scared. Wow. Yeah, we're
But
used to that. We're used to that. Yeah. That's normal.
I
It's a
always look
stress
back on that.
response.
It's such a like that's a painful memory for me. You know what I mean? Because these people
Oh,
like kept me alive.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was just treating them like garbage.
Oh, you were scared.
I guess so. I guess so.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
It was crazy. That shit was one of the most wild experience I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
But I'm grateful for it at the end of the day because that shit definitely gave me perspective. I forget about that.
Wow. So, like, I mean, tell me about this car accident. Like, what
I
happened?
wish I could. Um, I just remembered laying down on a trampoline, and then I woke up in a hospital 2 days later.
No way.
But it wasn't like a coma. It was like just like such a severe concussion that I wasn't taking in anything. I was just like talking in loops. My face was bashed up, femur snapped.
Oh, my
Um,
God.
but yeah, just
And
just
you really don't remember the actual incident. You don't, you just,
there's little faded memories in between.
oh my
You know what I
God,
mean?
that's so
Like I
scary.
remember my mother yelling, "My baby!" Like because we were
Oh,
both in the car, and I remember that, and that was it. Like I was in and out, and I just remember her yelling that, and but like it's just like a dream. It's a faded memory, but it was really
wow.
just laying down on a trampoline and and then I'm just in a hospital bed, and that was the second time that ever happened to me. The first time it happened, I got hit by a car, but it was like a 12-hour difference or 6-hour difference or something like that. I was at my elementary school, and then I just woke up and it was just just like we're talking right here,
Wow.
like like there's no you're just there. It's like what the
That's so
hell?
crazy.
That
Yeah.
shit was crazy.
And it's the brain really, like, it's a defense mechanism, right? Your brain kind of blanks out. It's just like if I saw this one thing where this girl was skydiving and her, what is it called? Parachute didn't open. And right before she hit the ground, she like totally blacked out, like knocked out, and she lived. Your brain has to do that because, like, what would it do?
Shit was
It's
crazy.
like, it's just like
For my thing, I thought,
surviving.
yeah, like I thought it was like from my understanding, it was just like a severe concussion. You know what I mean? So the concussion just like erased like processing. It wasn't like I didn't think of it as like a traumatic response or like a psychological protector. It was more like a physical, like I hit my head so hard that
Yeah.
like it just like took away. I don't even know
Yeah,
how that
that,
shit works. That shit is crazy.
it is.
Yeah.
And subconsciously, there is memories. There are
Yeah.
memories,
It's
which can
insane.
affect you like way later. And again, yeah, trauma. I mean, and that was physical trauma too, not
Yeah.
even just emotional. I mean, well, also emotional too.
Yeah, it was a bunch. It was a bunch. It was definitely a lot. It was a great experience. I really think it was a great experience, honestly.
Good for you.
You know, like
Yeah.
it was wild. I feel like I needed that just like moving forward in my life. You know what I mean? Cuz like when I was just like stripped away of any inhibitions or something, I felt like just such a mean person. I felt like such a terrible person. You know what I mean? So now it like makes me like think like to my core, you know what I mean? I don't want to be that way.
Uh huh.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think I've done a good job of like not replicating that, but I still feel
Wow.
like, yeah, it's crazy.
And if you had head trauma, I mean, that's like delirium also.
What does that mean?
Well, there's different states like, dementia is like long-term progressive changes in the brain. Delirium is like a short term and it may be due to trauma or like medication or stuff like that. Like there's like an actual physiological or there's something like more acute going on.
Yeah.
So it's just like a state of consciousness where, that happens when your personality changes a little bit after something like that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, that shit was fucked up. That shit was fucked up.
Oh,
So I think about that. Even now, it's been 20 years, and I still feel bad for those nurses. You know what I
oh.
mean?
Well, you're saying you're sorry right now. Look,
Yeah,
listen.
but
They don't even know.
that doesn't mean anything.
What
You
do
know
you
what I mean?
mean? Yeah,
Because
well, I mean,
first,
they're
they're
probably
probably
won't.
not watching,
Right.
right? And two,
But into the universe,
this
you're
is
saying like, hey, listen, whatever I did, I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm
No,
not that person.
and it's not good enough though.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Because they were doing a good
Well,
job.
you were 10. Come on, a little grace to yourself.
Yeah, I know,
You know.
but still, like I would have loved. I like to be light in people's lives. You know what I mean? Like
I hear you on that.
I try to be. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, same. Nobody likes a downer.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like I would have loved to be in like an outlier who's just like, oh, thank you guys. Even though that shit would have been really
Most
fucked
children
up.
are not going to be like that. They're
Yeah.
scared. I mean, anybody you talk to who's been in a traumatic car accident when they were young or whatever, they're going to say the same exact thing, that they were like, they hate needles now, or they hate, they're very like their entire body actually, you know, acts differently around medical professionals and stuff. It's like totally, I mean, you're just trying to figure out, like, you don't even understand like how the human body works.
Yeah.
It's like a scary thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should give yourself some grace.
No, I guess I shall. I guess I will, but still, like it still lives in me. You know what I mean? Like
No.
it was very intense. So I'll still use it as a learning lesson. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, but it's chill. It is what it is. But kudos to you though. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
Deciding to make some changes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to educate yourself. You got to, you know,
What do you think was like one of the most like the biggest factors? You said you were running these departments and running the heads. Do you feel like it was an empathetic thing or like a book smarts thing, a combination of both, like all these pieces coming together?
yeah. Oh, wow. I think that I had excellent leadership skills. I'll say that. I think that these days we're missing good leaders who like mentor and guide and not tell you what to do because they're the boss, like when you are really good at that, you're a very special person. I think that was how come I was so successful.
Right.
I like treated everyone like family. Like when we would have to do things or like hard things, and I would get another case, like we'd have another resident move in, and it was like, guys, on top of your already workload, and like, this one's out sick because of COVID and we're short staffed, I'd have to like really level with them and be like, guys, I'm so sorry. Like, I get it. Like, this, if you need help, I'll meet you in the room. Just tell me, we'll walk through it together. Like, listen, it was like, I was very, like, I would always explain why. It's just like when you're a child, like, if you tell the kid why you're doing it, like, and you don't just say, we're going to do this and that's it, and you don't have an option or a choice, like, but when you explain, like, the reasoning, this is where you get people to buy in and you get cooperation,
Yeah.
So that was what it was. I was able to bring all the pieces together and be successful because of my my like relationship building skills and stuff like that.
Understood. So the thing that I'm taking from it is that you were able to, first you excelled, right? You did well in like the things that you're trying to exemplify and show and be hands-on with. But then, and in that fact, people looked at you for assistance, and when it was time to be asked for assistance, you stooped to their level, talked to them, like, were very patient. You did it with them. You showed them how to do it. You like hands-on approach. You met them where they were.
Absolutely. They were my family. It was like I treated them like I wanted to be treated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than just like, no, this is how you do it.
Exactly. Like
do that shit.
Like, this is your job. Like, I would never ever talk to anyone like that. And honestly, and to this day, like if I walked in there and like everyone was always like, Rachel, like, I mean, as director of nursing, and I had to hire and fire people and train people and all. I mean, I was really well loved and respected, and I loved my team. I mean, nobody left me when I started working there. Like, I had the same team for 3.5 years from the day I left. We stuck together, and I would always be working on improving their skills and like investing in the team, because it makes no sense to get rid of people and then have to reteach a whole new, like, you're wasting so much time. You might as well just really just invest in your team. So
Yeah.
that was my approach. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know where I learned these things too. It's like, I think maybe in the beginning it was like I was trying to be a little hard and I would get punished for it, like nurses, they can work anywhere. Nurses are high in demand. And CNAs and all that stuff, they were like, I'm not gonna, and it was never mean or anything. It was just like, I'd try to like really set, like be like, I need you to do this, and it just didn't work. And so very quickly I learned to just be really really what is even the word? But I can't even, I was just so nice. But like people didn't mess with me either. It's weird,
Helpful.
You just have to treat them with respect. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah.
So,
I like that. I like that. That's a tool that I'm avidly learning myself to be like more hands-on, patient. You know what I mean, and be a better leader by just exemplifying. You know what I mean? I think I've been in the practice of just having like I just expect people to understand it.
oh
You know what
yeah,
I mean? I kind of like almost.
like expect them to understand what,
I don't know, like if it's like
like what you mean.
no, not even just that. That I was more so before in the past, but through trials and error, I've just learned to communicate better and understand that people are not on the same level. But now it's more so like when bringing people on to help me with video projects. You know what I mean? Because I haven't had too much experience with that, so it's like, it's just funny how things bleed into it. I didn't have the patience for communication at one point, depending on the person or whatever, and now it's like, I'm getting better, but that's a very good point that you brought up. You know what I mean? Just how to be a better leader just by showing people, being hands-on,
Yeah,
getting to their
totally.
level. What we're
You
digging
can hear
for.
every little thing on here. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I know. Where's the chapstick?
oh, my lips are so dry. I can't keep going on like this.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a very good takeaway right there. That's really helpful. And you can
good.
see that you've had fruit from it,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh God,
you know?
yeah.
I'm definitely going to walk away with that.
Good.
Be more hands-on and be patient.
Yeah, yeah. Lead by example. Exactly. That's even my daughter. You know, she's 17. She's about to be 18, and you got to mentor. You have to lead by example, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
You know, she sees me doing big things. It's like very motivating. I told her, I'm like, I'm driving a BMW. I don't know what kind of car you're gonna drive, but I got my BMW. Like, you know, good luck on your side. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, everyone has choices. Everyone has choices.
Absolutely.
It's like, how hard do you want to work? Everyone's got to work hard. Like, you know,
Right.
choose your hard.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the key. It's going to be hard no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
Choose your hard.
Yep.
It's just as much effort to have a bad relationship as it is to have a good relationship.
Absolutely. Wow. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Effort or non-effort. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it is.
Well, we're perplexed on that one.
I know. I'm like,
Where'd the head go on this?
I'm like, listen,
She went there real quick.
yeah, that's hard. That's hard. It's just you're right. It's intentional. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Good point. Good. I mean,
It was in an audiobook, so
yeah.
don't give credit to me.
Well, my dad even, like he said to me once, like, you have to work hard for everything, even your happiness. And I will never forget that. And I'm like, whoa, like I didn't expect that, one, from him, and like two, and it's like so true. Like for me to find like what makes me happy, like you have to be very like, what makes me happy? I mean, that's a loaded question. Not a lot of people can identify it.
You gotta like part of understanding what makes you happy is like being willing to fail and try new things. You know what I mean? Because you don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean? Like if we're like, no one knows themselves through and through. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you need to try something and realize that no, like, this is not me. You know what I mean? So I think trial and error, being willing to take risks, is also a part of your happiness. You know what I mean? Because you may have a dream and you may think it's your dream. And if you never take the chance, you're always going to regret it. But if you do take the chance, you might realize maybe it doesn't align with me, or maybe it's exactly what I always thought it was. But I think taking chances is a big part of happiness.
I think it's a part of growth. I think that, you know, for me personally, like making goals and setting goals, like, and achieving those brings me happiness. Like if I didn't have anything to work towards, I don't think I would be happy.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But some people don't want to grow. Some people don't want, they're content. Like they don't need and I'm happy for people like that. Like, why do I need to constantly improve myself? Like that's a character flaw right there.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. I feel like I need to constantly improve myself.
I know a lot of people like us.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, especially as a business owner, like, I really feel like there's facets that I need to continue to grow into.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like,
you got to keep learning. Yeah.
and like, even with like this podcast, like, I want to continue to keep on impacting people. Like, I don't ever feel like one conversation is enough. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different walks of life, different perspectives, different people, like different hearts, you know, ideas that I can hear when having a conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
So if I feel like I'm done talking to people, Like I feel like that's not. I can't think that way.
Yeah, well, you make the opportunity, which is really nice. Like that's part of your business, right? And like you kind of you reach out, you see like who could maybe make it, make a difference. And in my work, all of my patients and like listening to their stories and learning about their lives every single day, like it's so satisfying.
Yeah.
Like I feel so rewarded, like just connecting with others, and
Yeah.
like, even just like bullshitting with them or whatever, it's like, makes life way better. You
Right.
can't be alone here. Yeah. You got to be connected.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Which is why I'm so grateful for everybody who comes on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yourself included. Now, I kind of want to just like, I don't know, I might push some buttons sometimes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because like I try to dissect and I look at people and I try to really understand them.
Okay.
Right? And I feel like being a nurse is hard as fuck.
Yeah, it is hard.
You know what I mean? Like that shit is mad difficult. Like I can't even imagine. I would be heartbroken every fucking day. Like I don't think I'm strong enough. You know what I
Oh.
mean? Because I feel like I would be like, I'm not able to disconnect. I wouldn't want to disconnect. You know what I mean? Like I know that's part of the job, but I wouldn't want to.
No.
So I would just have to walk away. You know what I mean? Like I would have to. It just, you know what I mean? I just couldn't.
Wow.
So kudos to you.
Thank
And every
you.
nurse out there who's able to do it and loves their job and helps people and helps save lives, all that stuff. Like, you guys are something.
I agree. I think nurses are something. There's this like really funny comedian, Nurse John, or he's a nurse too. And, I mean, so relatable. Like the things that we have to deal with, like nurses. And it's like, yeah, I mean, going back to your car accident thing, it's like people when they're sick, they're not themselves, so
Right.
they
Right.
need help. Yeah.
But what about the nurses? You know what I mean? Because I feel like
They have to take care of themselves too.
I know, but like, geez Louise. That's true. They definitely have to take care of themselves.
Yeah. You can't care for somebody else if you're pouring from an empty cup.
But you need to get poured into too.
Well, do we need to get poured into, or do we need to refill our own cup?
I think every human needs to be poured into.
I think yes, you're right. There's multiple different people that could do that. But you also, it's your responsibility too. I mean, you can't
Definitely.
I can't, yeah. I can't depend, my happiness doesn't depend on other people, or my ability to be
Right.
successful or whatever is not dependent on the people around me. Though you do like vibe and like bring on the frequency that you are, like you're gonna
Yeah.
bring up, those people that are coming along the ride with you. Like those are your people for a reason. Like it's just,
Yeah.
you made that happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And when you're like lonely, it's like, cause you made that happen too.
Okay, so I have a question. Do you feel like, because I'm just trying to understand stuff, and if this is too much, if you feel like you don't want to answer any questions, or you want to
whatever.
stop right here. And there.
Okay, cool. Whatever. Let's see. I'll
Cool.
tell you if I'm not.
All right, let's get it. Do you think, so do you feel like you've like become more numb or closed yourself off as you like grew in your career of being a nurse?
I did at one point. I was starting to do that.
Yeah?
Yeah. As a protective mechanism.
Do you think that affected like how close people could get to you?
And that's the thing. I would separate work from my personal, but I agree that it did affect my personal life too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. When you're working so hard, like, and you're like sacrificing for everyone else, like, and you're always like responsible for everything, or, like everything came across my desk. I said yes to everything. I was the one making all the decisions, and like life or death situations all the time, on call. Like, there's just a lot of like big important decisions, and you're doing this day in, day out, and you get people calling out, whatever. And again, I was great at like mentoring my team. Like they really didn't call out that much. They were awesome. But eventually, yeah, it becomes like, it's just a revolving, it's like the rat race in a way, right? It's like, oh, here comes another sick person. Here comes another, family. Here comes another. And it's just like, it's hard. So, I mean, it didn't change me. It did make me a little more numb, because you have to
What
survive.
about the personal life? How did that I can understand like the numbness in the work life. How did it bleed into the personal?
It's just you're tired. I mean, like you're exhausted. I used to say I would be emotionally massaging everyone all day long. Like that was my job. My number one job was to emotionally massage everyone. you know, like as a nurse. And I was always having to be like the therapeutic one, like the leader, like the one that always said the right thing, the one that was always empathetic and compassionate. And, you know, like you have a big responsibility. So, you know, sometimes I wanted to be like explode. Like I come home like, are you kidding? Like I can't believe that I was like this employee like did this or this. But I always had to remain in control. I always had to, you know, my reputation could be ruined like immediately. Like if I snapped on somebody or, you know, all the hard things that I'd worked for. So eventually it like weighs on you because you're like always having to be on point, you know. But you know, you know, the great thing is when I did that long enough and I was becoming more numb, and I agree, like it definitely affected. I left my ex, you know, all that stuff. I mean, we were not connected, you know. Was it my job's fault? He wants to blame it on the job maybe, but I wouldn't have said that. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's a hard it's a hard one to kind of pinpoint exactly. And like clearly it did affect some things.
Yeah. I only ask just to provoke thought. You know what I mean? I don't ask for an answer. You know what I mean? I just ask more so to propose the question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like it would personally, like if I were like, that's why I told you I would walk away. I wouldn't be able to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I will say my relationships now are so much better, right? Well, it's like a lot had happened at that point, right? So I'd finally decided to give up the job. But I was still searching a lot, right? I was like learning a lot of new things, like looking up Dr. Dispenza and like Deepak Chopra and like all this new stuff that I had never known before, and like meditating and all that stuff. So I was like really trying to like, you know, find myself. And at that time, right when I was making the change, I went to real estate school and I got my Connecticut real estate license. And then, you know, I was gonna like open up an aesthetics place, and then somebody was like, "Oh, you should have one of those rooms and like do Botox and fillers." And so I went and like took a class, and like I fell in love with it, loved it. But you know, that whole process, it's like, you know, you have to want to evolve, right, and like be better, and you have to. I mean, they say, you know, some people stay the same, some people change. I think. What do you think about that?
I know I changed, but I also changed from unlearning things. Like I changed and then I changed back.
Ah,
You know what I mean? Like that's how I
like
feel. Like
that.
I'm getting into that process of like,
I totally get that.
yeah,
That makes perfect sense to me.
yeah.
Sometimes it's like it just leads you back to where you were anyways, right?
Yeah, like I feel like we're so pure as kids. You know what I mean? And I felt like there's things that threw me off that. There's things that made me feel unrecognized, and so I behaved in ways to get recognized, and I wasn't myself, and I would do stupid shit. And then through time, you know what I mean, like things started to fall away. Obviously that strategy wasn't working, and I was forced to kind of, you know, really just deal with all the bullshit that had been piling up. And then I just like stripped things away, you know, and then found myself again.
Awesome. Nice.
Came back to the love that is
That's
Tyler.
awesome. Good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, but what were we saying?
I have no idea.
Trauma
I started
brain,
going
baby.
to, I know, right? I was like on this tangent, and I'm like, wait, well,
We were talking about unlearning. No, we were talking about changing. What were we talking about?
we were talking about, beats me.
Fuck. What were we talking about? Wait. Let's
Connecting
brainstorm.
with others. And we were talking about, I don't know what you were saying, like,
People
no.
in the comments are just like so coherent. Like anyone watching this knows exactly what we're talking
I know,
about.
they were like
Screaming at the
somebody made a total left turn.
Right. Oops. My bad.
Why, is this live?
No,
Oh, okay.
No.
This is great.
not at all.
Good.
Shit. So let's reverse it.
Okay.
Talked about. I'm so lost.
Like we talked about, like maybe like burnout and me changing, me affecting my relationships, and then how my relationships are so much better now. So my relationships are like, you know, when you're less stressed and you're not having to work as hard as you were before and everything. You're right. My relationships are like, I'm present, like I want to connect. I want to like make time and I want to do those things. So to your point, like, how somebody can work so hard and like kind of not be connected to others and it changes their relationship. It's the opposite too. When your stress is really low, you're able to just like live and feel and just be so much better. Like I'm a better mother, I'm better like best friend, I haven't been in a relationship in a really long time and I'm grateful for that because, it's people are energy suckers too,
I know.
So you just gotta like know who your tribe is and your vibe and then stick with that.
100%. 100%. I have so much to say. First of all, do you think people can change?
Yeah, I know. That's why I was asking you. I think everyone evolves in some way, whether or not they realize it or not. Mm-hmm. I think that women tend to have more like seasons maybe in their life because we're a little bit more emotionally driven. Mm-hmm. I think though that, so I think everyone changes. Does everyone have the capacity to change? Of course. Does everyone want to change? No.
I think change happens through pain.
Oh. Only pain?
No, I think also through like love, satisfaction. I think love as well.
Okay.
Yeah. That being said, there's the other part that I wanted to talk about. You're mentioning better relationships. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about like, fuck. All right, let me just get into it. So, love and pain. Why am I spacing so hard today?
I don't know. I must be mesmerizing you or something.
Oh my God, oh my God.
I'm just kidding.
Holy shit. What is this creature?
No.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
There's a lot of love to give,
Yeah. I think that's what it goes into. So, I think like I don't even know how I'm like piecing things together, but I know love can heal, mm-hmm. right? And I know pain can definitely change. Mm-hmm. And I think it can change for a whole bunch of different ways, a spectrum of change through pain. You know what I mean? I think it can go for the worst.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people really close themselves off. And I think it can also go to the best where it strips away old things and allows them to get deeper with themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they get deeper with themselves, I think this is what the one that I know both. You know what I mean? I'm more accustomed to the getting deeper with myself now as I've grown more mature. Before, I would get, I don't know, the pain it was different. But now getting closer to yourself, understanding yourself, just as you mentioned, becoming like more stress-free when you're around people, right? When you get to like a certain level of like understanding, you know what's for you and what's not for you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And if you don't get a level of understanding, you might just accept some bullshit into your life that's not really meant to be there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like my thing is, I don't want to ever be numb. You know what I mean? Like I actually want to feel it all.
Yeah.
Because I've been numb before and I let bullshit into my life, not just like other people, but through my own actions. I thought certain things were cool. I should look up to certain things and wanted to resonate and be those things. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't the thing. Once I actually felt deeper pain, I had better insight of what is honest for me. And then it now allows me to also know when someone is truly for me or not. Mm-hmm. Like if you really build your circle. So if you hide behind the pain, you'll never really find people for you, I think. I think you need to live in that pain and you'll find yourself and then you'll find who needs to be there. Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it necessarily has to be pain though. I mean,
but love at the same time. You know what I mean? Like love comes in like, but yeah, I don't want to cut you off.
I don't operate from like a level of pain or like, I don't know, more maybe acceptance or something, but I don't really even find that like anything bad has ever happened to me. Like I always am kind of feeling like the universe is working for me, and all that. Well, I believe in God, so that's what I hold on to, So there's not a whole lot of pain that I experience anymore, thank God, because when you're like, and listen, it's funny, it's like no one's ever really healed. Are you really, we have all processed our early life differently.
Right.
And everyone's got their own struggles.
Right.
And so it's just a matter of, now it's everything is like a gift. Everything to me is a success. I'm always looking at like, oh, that's a win. Like this is great. Like everything is good. When bad things happen to me and I'm like, they're not happening to me, they're like for me, or I'm like, I really move right over them. Like it's not even a hiccup. It's just like, oh, all right, just another thing. Like and that, I have some friends that are like, you should feel those more. I'm like, no, I don't want to spend the energy on like, those speed bumps, those little speed humps,
Yeah.
because it's like it could slow you down, or you can just move right past it. It's like not
That's
like
true.
you're being numb to it. It's just a matter of I just need to look on to other things,
Yeah, definitely.
So, but anyways, I generally feel like life is a blessing, and there's every day is awesome and great and happy, and that's it.
I needed to hear that. That was beautiful.
Oh yeah, good. I'm
Yeah,
glad. I'm
That
glad.
was legit. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. When you know God,
Yeah.
like you are protected.
Absolutely.
You don't need to linger. You just keep on moving.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
things fall into place.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
And you don't need to know where you're going necessarily, because there's something there for you that you just gotta wait on
Right.
the Lord, and
You'll never
there,
know.
there we'll,
That's
there
the
we'll go.
beauty.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
I
the
agree.
excitement.
I agree.
You know what I
Totally.
mean?
Totally.
That's it.
Yep.
Great perspective. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I can tell you're definitely smart. You're definitely like a smart person. I think
Thanks.
one with your emotions too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try not to spend too much time on the emotions. Though.
Yeah, but I feel like that's the thing. Like I feel like some people, like especially on the women, I feel like they kind of like let the emotions kind of be their personality.
Right.
But I feel like you understand. You're like smart enough to like go deeper than just like the face value of this emotion. You like, I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know. Yeah, no. When I focus too much on my emotions, it gets me caught up. I can't. You
Yeah.
have to kind of like feel and enjoy and
Yeah.
like just enjoy and all that, and then like you need to kind of move on, because it's very easy to like wallow in emotions and like want to feel every little thing, and I just can't live my life like that. You know? Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Life is good, man.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. God is good.
God is good all the time.
All the time. All the time.
Amen.
Beautiful. Is there anything that you want to like address or like say to anybody, younger version of yourself?
Oh, I like that. I like that. All right. Yeah. So on that younger version of yourself, that was really cool. When I started going to therapy, which I loved therapy, because even if you're there and you're like, what is the point of this? When they ask you questions, just like how we're doing now, you can really self-reflect afterwards. Like, oh, is that how I answered that question? Or like, why would I say, oh, I guess that's how I really feel. Really therapeutic. I think that one of the biggest things was I started getting into like solfeggio frequencies. And I really do believe that like, God is, he operates in frequencies, obviously, and like sound and light and all these things are frequencies, obviously. And those solfeggio frequencies played at 369 or 396. My therapist told me to like put my feet up and listen to that frequency. I think it's 396 or 369. It's one of the two. And I was like, I had like such a breakthrough moment. And I think it's really important that people realize like that sound is very influential, and they should really be listening to, things that are serving them positively. Anything that you're listening, anybody who's speaking, anything that you're professing into the light, it needs to be in a positive way. And so I was able to really have a breakthrough in that. So I encourage anybody to kind of try that if they have any like history of trauma. And on that note, like I tell my daughter, there's two, the IKEA had an experiment. Like there's two trees that they put up, I guess, in the school, or like plants, and they would bully one, and they would speak nicely and love the other one. And the tree, and they both were in the same exact environment, and the bullied tree like withered and died. Like it was sad. And then the one that they would say beautiful, nice, loving things to, the tree flourished. And so I just really, I think everyone should just mind their thoughts, hone their thoughts, focus on, stopping negative thoughts, and really just be as positive as possible. And even if you're having these like self-limiting thoughts or old belief systems and negative things that go through your mind, you really just need to kind of like tell it to shut up and like just, because the more time that you spend on that, the more you're really distracting yourself. So that's what I hope everyone kind of thinks about that some more.
Boom. Absolutely. I'll
Yeah.
take that into account as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Taking the time to be here today and
Thank you for
sharing
having me.
some wisdom and insight. It was awesome. Really
Thank
grateful for it.
you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So that was a beautiful episode of the Perspective Podcast, guys. We're going to link her stuff down below if you want to give her a follow along her journey. Leave some comments down below of some exciting moments. Maybe you can tell us what we're talking about. Did we get back to it at any point?
I
Who
think we
knows?
did.
We'll see. We'll see. But like, comment, subscribe, and we'll definitely see you in the next one.
Peace.